नमस्कार. हार्ट टू हार्ट या मुलाखतींच्या विशेष कार्यक्रमात आपल्या सगळ्यांचं मनपूर्वक स्वागत. आज आपण भेटणार आहोत एका सद्गुरूला. सद्गुरू म्हणजे काय, तर जो सर्वसामान्य माणसाला अंधकारापासून प्रकाशाकडे नेतो, मार्गदर्शन करतो, तो सद्गुरू. आज देश विदेशातल्या करोडो जनतेला जो अंधकारापासून प्रकाशाकडे नेतोय, अशा एका महान सद्गुरूला आपण भेटणार आहोत. त्यांच्या ईशा फाउंडेशनच्या माध्यमातून त्यांनी एक लोक बदलाची, जनसमूह बदलाची, आपल्या काळातल्या वाईट गोष्टी बदलाची एक प्रचंड मोठी मोहीम चालू केलेली आहे. अनेक देशांचे राष्ट्राध्यक्ष, उद्योगपती, राजकारणी, कलावंत, लेखक, विचारवंत, ज्यांना समाजाबद्दल काहीतरी चांगलं व्हावं असं वाटतं, अशा अनेक माणसांसाठी प्रेरणास्थान असलेले असे सद्गुरू आज आपल्या भेटीला आले आहेत. स्वागत करूया सद्गुरू जग्गी वासुदेव यांचं. सद्गुरूजी, आपलं स्वागत. सद्गुरू जग्गी वासुदेव सध्या एका अत्यंत महत्त्वाच्या गोष्टीवर काम करतायत. आपल्या नद्या सुकतायत, आपल्याकडचं पर्यावरण ढासळतंय, तापमान वाढतंय. एवढंच काय तर अनेक नद्यांचं पाणी दूषित होतंय, ग्राउंड वॉटर खाली जात चाललेलं आहे. या सगळ्यामुळं सद्गुरू व्यथित आहेत. पण फक्त व्यथित नाही आहेत, त्यांनी आपल्या रॅली फॉर रिव्हर्स या माध्यमातून एक प्रचंड मोठी जागरण मोहीम सुरू केलेली आहे. भारताच्या एका कोपऱ्यापासून ते दुसऱ्या कोपऱ्यापर्यंत ते प्रवास करतायत, अनेकांना प्रेरित करतायत या नद्यांच्या पुनरुज्जीवनासाठी. आजच्या या मुलाखतीमध्ये खरं तर त्यांना आंतरराष्ट्रीय राजकारण, अनेक गोष्टींबद्दल मला प्रश्न विचारता येतील, परंतु तुमच्या आमच्या भविष्याशी निगडीत असलेल्या अशा गोष्टीवर ते काम करतायत. म्हणून या मुलाखतीत मी फक्त भारतातल्या नद्या, त्या नद्यांची अवस्था तशी होण्यामागची कारणं आणि त्याच्यावरची उपाययोजना आणि त्यांचं या भारताबद्दलचं असलेलं स्वप्न, एवढ्यापुरतेच मी प्रश्न मर्यादित ठेवणार आहेत. सद्गुरू, rivers are the lifelines of this nation. It has been said such a long time, but current status of the situation is so bad that our rivers are causing a great pain to you. Why this happened?
See, since 1947, since nation's independence, it's 70 years now, just yesterday. In our efforts, because from the shambles of partition and the loot of the colonial rule left us in almost empty possibilities. Since then, our focus has been just survival, somehow food and development of the nation, economic development being the core aspect of everything. In this drive, which was most essential, we somehow forgot, in trying to feed the 1 billion people that we have, we forgot the source which feeds us, which is the soil and water. The condition of the soil and the condition of the water in this country has become a dire situation. It is not anymore alarmist, activist talk. There is substantial scientific evidence showing us that we are moving in this direction. Already in many parts of the country, people are suffering for this. For me, I am not a scientist, I am not an environmentalist, but I have been deeply engaged with nature right from my early age. In mountains and rivers have been so much a part of my life. But the rivers that I saw when I was a child and a youth, and the same rivers when I see today, tears come to me because it's in such a state of depletion.
Yeah.
So I thought this is one responsibility that I must fulfill for the future generations. No matter what it takes, we must make sure that first thing is awareness, next thing is policy. We must have a policy, not by whims of each individual or each organization, but we must have a proper policy that we approach our water and soil resources in a scientific manner,
Yeah.
as it should be.
Yeah. But I wonder, Sadguruji, because over here, the names of the rivers are given to our daughters, sisters and mothers. You see the name of the girl as Ganga, as Saraswati, Kaveri, Narmada. On one hand, we put them to such a pedestal, and on the other hand, the common man is also a part of the destruction of our rivers. Why this happened?
So you will be surprised, did a little bit of some kind of a survey. Below 20 years of age, in any city if you go, more than 80% of them have never seen a river in their life. They think water comes from the tap. They've not seen a river. How do you connect these people to the river? So right now, we have over 100,000 schools having painting competitions, essay competitions. Every school is standing up and doing whatever they can. It's fantastic, the kind of response that is there. But children should be conscious there is something called a river, and what is the nature of the river, what keeps a river as a live force, how many lives are dependent upon the river, not just human lives, every kind of creature also depends on the river.
Correct.
How river is a living force. There are some efforts, now the courts have passed some kind of a order saying that some rivers will get the status of being a living person, that kind of status. But we must understand this, we can do these things this is also awareness-raising process, I am not saying it is not good, but at the same time, all that may happen is all kinds of cases filed in the court in the name of Yamuna, Ganga by people.
Yeah.
Because Ganga is never going to file a case, other people will file cases in her name.
Yeah.
So, it's all fine, but the fundamental thing I'm trying to create right now is, always whenever any issue is taken up in the country, it's always against the government, against this project, against that project. It's very important all stakeholders, first the river, then the people, then the governments, then the NGOs, then the activists, then the scientists, everybody, all of them should come on one platform and let us see what is the solution. Why are we fighting on every issue?
So do I say that, Sadguru, you are on the river project, you are on the sort of a protest or confrontationist mode?
No,
at all?
I have made it very clear, this is not an agitation, this is not a protest. This is to raise awareness. All of us drink water.
But water is the prime source for
Water
the
is the source of our life, 70% of our body is water. So there is no you versus me in this. All of us are water-bodied.
Yeah.
Okay? So there is no question, the fundamental thing is to take away that idea of conflict. People, there are river warriors in the world. I said, what are you going to fight against? Are you going to fight the rivers? Or against the people who use the rivers? Both are not going to work. It's important that we understand the situation we are in and chart out a solution and make a policy and make it enforceable.
Yeah.
This is a long-term process. Always protests and activisms and strikes are for immediate results. This is not for immediate results. I am seeing how if we take a few right steps today, the next generations can continue in the right direction so that there will be a solution for this country, that we won't rip the country off.
Is it too late, because some of the numbers which I read in the research paper given by your associates is alarming. We have 75% less water per capita, less water than what we were during the independence time, and about 25% of the land is already moving towards becoming a desert. This is something alarming. What would you say about it?
It is very alarming, but is it reversible? Yes, it is. What I would say is, today, if we start today, in the next 15 years, if we do the necessary steps that are necessary to revive the rivers will increase their flow by 20% in approximately 25 years' time.
Yeah.
But let's say we leave it today, we don't do anything, and we try to do this after 20 years, then it will take 100 to 150 years to turn around.
Yeah.
That's where we are at the tipping point, that's why the urgency.
Okay. 32 of the cities in India today, top 32 cities, 22 cities every year on some or the other pretext have water shortage. Most of these cities were situated near some river. So what has happened? The river flow has come down, the rainfall has come down. What has happened? I mean, the Ganges receives only 4% water from the glacier, rest is coming from rainwater. The reports say that we don't have less rainwater per se. What has gone wrong then?
See, the fundamental is this. One fundamental I would like to remind you is, we are always thinking in terms of, oh, there is no water in my house, so there is a shortage. I want, as human beings, we are supposed to be conscious human beings. This is the way an animal would think. When it doesn't have water to drink, it thinks there is no water. As human beings, we are supposed to have a much more longer-term thing. I am saying, we must look at it. When the water flow is receding in the rivers, and the groundwater is receding, going further and further down, to what extent means, about 30 years ago when I first went to Coimbatore, we were striking water at 100 to 125 feet, good water.
Yeah.
Today we're going 1400 feet, okay? So, when 1400 feet we strike water, we think we're okay. This is our problem.
Yeah.
So when your mouth goes dry, you think there is no water. That's not it. When you see the river water is dropping, the lakes are going dry, and the wells are going deeper and deeper, you must be already alarmed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Only water doesn't come into your house, then you're alarmed. This must change. This is what I'm trying to change. It is the business of every human being who lives in this country to see that this is a rich nation. When we say rich nation, it is not just about the stock market. It is about the soil and the water.
That's the real stock market of the world.
Of course.
Those viewers, those who are watching this interview, often read about global warming, they read about El Nino, they read about famines and floods. Is this all connected with river depletions?
To some extent. But I think we like to exaggerate the global situation so that we don't have to do anything local. This is unfortunate attitude.
Correct.
Keep on talking about, oh, it's because of El Nino. It doesn't matter how much rainfall falls. Are we capturing the water that falls down?
Yeah.
Are we able to utilize this for enriching this land? I'm talking about enriching the land. When the land is rich, you and me will be well.
Yeah.
But we are only thinking of you and me being well. You and me being well is a consequence of the land being rich.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we are thinking only of you and me being well. We are not worried about land being rich.
Yeah.
This has to shift, that we must see how India as a land is a rich land. We must understand this. This is one society on the planet, this is one culture on the planet, which is the longest history of agriculture on the planet.
Yeah.
We've been farming before anybody ever started.
Correct.
So today the rural population in this country is still over 60%, depends on agriculture. We have literally the DNA of agriculture.
Yeah.
And we have a 12-month agricultural season.
Yeah.
If we handle our soil and water right, we can become the breadbasket of the world. We can produce fruits, vegetables and everything that is needed for the entire world. It is just that we have never capitalized on it and we have overused it in many different ways. When I say overused it, you were talking about the alarming rate of desertification, or 25% of the land is turning into a desert. What this means is, as per international standards, the minimum organic content necessary in the soil, to call it soil, is 2%. But today, states like Punjab, Haryana, Marathwada, some parts of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, all these places, the organic content in the soil has gone below 0.05%.
Yeah.
Not 0.5%,
Yeah.
0.05.
So almost desert then, almost desert.
Almost.
Yeah.
At this rate, in 3 to 5 years, these lands will become desert. If you take away the organic content from the soil, it becomes like sand.
Yeah.
It is not anymore fit for agriculture. This is happening very rapidly. Some of the studies show that in about 40 years, 60% of the land will be unfit for agriculture.
Yeah.
This is simply because in our urgency to feed the population that we have, we shifted from organic ways of doing things to simply throwing fertilizers. We are not against fertilizers, they're like you take some kind of a vitamin pill, but you're eating good food. On top of that you take a pill, it works well. You take only pills and no food, it's not going to work. So if you take out, let's say, 10 tons of whatever crop, like sugarcane or whatever, out of 1 acre of land, what you have taken out is 10 tons of topsoil.
Correct.
If you want to put it back, there are two things you need. You need leaves from trees and you need animal waste. Trees are already gone, animals are going somewhere, they're all traveling outside the country. And what will you put back into the soil? How will you put back into the soil? The nutrient, the micronutrient content in the soil has gone down so dramatically. Over 70% of children, over 70% of the children below 3 years of age are anemic today, mainly because there are no micronutrients in the food that you're growing, because the soil doesn't have it.
You talked about Marathwada, that being a region which is almost like a drought-like situation. We are in the midst of monsoon here. 50% of the monsoon season is over. But in Maharashtra, I can tell you that about 100 talukas have not received even 25% of the rains. And today the farmers are looking at the sky and they are not getting a single drop of water. They are having seeds in their hand, but where to plant, that is the issue. The question today is, has the nature become erratic? Is it because of the irresponsible behavior of the mankind, or the nature has been unkind to us of late?
It's essentially senseless behavior of the mankind. There are many examples. There is someone close to Mumbai who's just recovered 6 acres of land, making it forested. We have done these experiments in Tamil Nadu. They're small acreages of 5 to 10 acres of land. Individual farmers have suddenly turned their land into a very abundant place. Well, Anna Hazare has done it in one village.
Yeah, Raleganj Siddhi.
Yes, what was a barren village, he's brought it back. Why can't this be done across the country? It is doable. It is not because of nature. Nature has its ups and downs. That is not wrong, that is how it should be. It is just that we must learn to live with nature. We should not demand, we want the nature that we want. That's not the way it works.
You have started a sort of a movement, and that is for rivers, Rally for Rivers. Can you tell me something more about it? What is it that in your mind, what is it that you want to achieve, how you want to involve the people into it, or the NGOs, or will there be any participation of the government machinery in it, because lot to do with the governments also?
See, everybody can do what they want, but that's dangerous. Right now in Maharashtra it's happened. I hear it's also happened in Tamil Nadu and a few other places. People out of their enthusiasm, maybe with the best of intentions, they've dug up the rivers. This is murder of the river. It's finishing the river totally.
So you are against digging up the bore wells?
I'm not against anything, this is what I want to say. Nothing, I'm not against anything. But right now, all I'm saying is, all of us consume water. Let's come together, look for a solution. I'm against this, you're against that, what is the point, I'm asking? So the Rally for Rivers is going through 16 states. In all the states, the chief ministers are participating in the event. I'm personally driving from Kanyakumari to Himalayas. Covering this for 32 days, I'm on the road. Myself driving, every kilometer I will drive myself. This is to bring that awareness that this is needed, people must understand. So we are doing various levels of campaign, in the media I'm talking to you, social media campaigns, on the ground, over 1 million volunteers are on the ground doing variety of work to make this happen. Many organizations have come forth, schools, corporates, colleges, variety of organizations have come together to support this. This is India, we must understand this. When you put out a sensible solution, you must see even an illiterate farmer knows this is sensible and he immediately goes for it. This is the beauty of this nation, but it needs a little organized approach. You want to do something out of your enthusiasm, I want to do something out of my enthusiasm. This is not a solution. This is for your and my satisfaction, that time is over. Now we want an enforceable policy as to how it be. This involves many aspects. I can't go into all the details, but essentially it's an economic plan with a very strong ecological impact. This can enhance, we have shown in Tamil Nadu in small experiments, this can enhance the income of a farmer anywhere between 3 to 8 times in 7 years' time.
That's almost removing the poverty of the nation.
Yes, it is. If you have 3 acres of land, you can live well.
Oh, great.
You can live well. We have already demonstrated this. We want to demonstrate in much larger scale.
Yeah.
There are many scientific aspects to this. It is now important that in a scientifically correct manner we go, that everybody doesn't do things in their own enthusiasm.
There's a coordinated way you would like to put it across.
Yes, not just me. I'm saying there must be a government policy, there must be a law, this is the way to do it.
What are the policy changes you are urging the state government and the center government and the local governing bodies to undertake? And at individual level, what people can contribute to your Isha Foundation's one of the largest initiative, I can say, to sort of rejuvenate the entire nation through rivers?
See, the rivers are a concurrent subject between the center and the state.
Yes.
The center can only give out a overarching policy. It's the states which have to show enthusiasm to get this going. This is the fundamental reason why I'm driving myself to get the state's concurrence, give a clear yes to the center, we are with you, whatever law you pass, we are with you. For this, we have taken Tamil Nadu Agriculture University as our partner, the Institute of Hydrology in Roorkee as our partner, and many scientists and environmentalists, they've all come together. Above all, I've put out an open calling. If you know something that I don't know, please come, participate in this.
Yeah.
This is not about me, this is not about somebody, this is the future of this nation.
Yeah.
There's huge efforts being made to make this nation into something substantial in the world.
Yeah.
But the fundamental, which is the soil and water, is just collapsing like this, we have to do something about it. So to do this, we need a policy, an enforceable policy. Not by my whim or your whim, what I like I will do, what you like you will do, this is not a solution. There must be a policy, major rivers, how they must be maintained. The riparian population which lives along the river bank must understand, river is not your personal property, it is nation's property. So these laws must be enforceable. Like you're driving on the street, you're supposed to drive on the left side of the street. Fancifully, if you drive on the right side of the street, within 10 minutes, you will be stopped and penalized. The same should happen with the rivers and soil. If you're doing the wrong things, there must be a penalty for that.
This is where most of the rivers today are polluted, especially in Maharashtra. I can give you many examples where not only the river flow has depleted, but the quality of water has also gone down because the rampant industrialization and waste being flown into the river without being treated. Same happened with Ganges, which gives water to almost 20–25% of the human habitat in this country. 20,000 crore government is talking about spending for Namami Gange. What is the status? Are you happy with it?
I have not really looked at the status of that because, in my opinion, no river needs to be cleaned. If you don't dirty it, it cleans itself in one season.
Yeah.
So how not to dirty it? Human beings are generating so much waste, liquid waste which is going into the river. It's very simple policy. It is just that it will need a certain amount of investment and certain management of the situation. Right now, let's say Mumbai produces whatever, let's say it produces 1 billion liters of sewage per day or per year, I don't know what the amount is.
Yeah.
In Coimbatore city is producing around 200 million liters of sewage per day.
Yeah.
Okay? So, there are companies in the world, I've been in contact with them for the last 3–4 years, we have been negotiating these things, how it can be done for Indian thing. They are capable of setting up huge treatment plants. It's very simple. Let's say in your home, every day, you get 1,000 liters of water into your home.
Yeah.
It's metered and you're paying for it.
Correct.
We can easily assume at least 500 liters will be sewage from your house. We don't have to meter it. We can just assume, if you can this much water, this much sewage. So we charge you for that. Government will charge you. For 500 liters of sewage per day, they will charge you whatever price they fix.
It's really the need of the hour that people should pay for what they are using.
Yes. Now what they're throwing out also they must pay.
Also, yeah. even the garbage.
Yes, they must pay for that. And once they pay for that, you give contract to large companies which are capable of setting up large-scale thing. For domestic one price, industry another price, business another price, all these things government can work out these details. Now the problem is, I don't know these details of Mumbai, maybe in Mumbai there are 1,000 outlets going into the ocean or into the river or wherever. Now this has to be consolidated into that it is going out only in 25 or 50 outlets so that you can set up 50 treatment plants and solve the problem. For those companies, you pay whatever you have to pay for the number of liters that they treat. And it is very easy, electronically you can check every moment what is the quality of water they're letting out into the river or ocean or wherever else it goes. It can be easily checked. So this just needs a policy. That you don't leave it to the choice of every corporation in the country. The government, the central government and the state government must decide, this is the way you have to treat the water, this is the quality of water that must go into the river. I was told, I was just in Singapore yesterday, and they said, Singapore Prime Minister, just to prove the point, he drinks recycled water which has come from the sewage. Sewage recycling, he says, see, this is recycled water and I drink it. That's the confidence they have in the treatment plants. We need to do just that. Well, that's a small nation, this is a large nation, we don't have to do it overnight. I am saying at least in the next 10 years.
Start somewhere.
Start somewhere is fine, but we must have a timeline. In 10 years' time, at least this must be complete.
Often there is a debate which happens, industry versus environment. When you want industry for jobs and you want to protect environment so that we can live happily, how do you guide this conflict? Can we resolve this with some guidance from you?
They need not be one versus the other. It needs to be a conscious decision what we want to do, how much we want to do. This is something, a conscious decision has to be taken. We have lived in a nation where decisions are taken in the interest of a few people, not a larger number of people. Industry is not against environment if it is properly conducted.
Many rivers have become a source of conflict, unfortunately. One state claims the share of water, the other doesn't want, and you see buses are being burnt, the common man's life is being disrupted. There is a huge law and order situation. That doesn't happen only for Kaveri, I would say. There are many rivers which are a source of conflict instead of becoming a source of life. What do you think about such conflicts?
These conflicts are happening definitely. At one time, they also burned my car in the Kaveri conflict. So, one thing we're doing is, on the 30th of this month, I'm meeting the Tamil Nadu farmers, about 7,000 of them are coming with all the leaders. We are trying to form a farmers' association of the Kaveri belt, irrespective of whether you're in Karnataka or in Tamil Nadu. Tamil farmers versus Kannada farmers. So why is it like this? Both of us are feeding from Kaveri. Now I am saying Kaveri Belt Farmers Association, that let us…
Irrespective of the state.
Irrespective of the state. It's only flowing through 2 states. There are some rivers flowing through 3-4 states, but Kaveri just starts in Karnataka, ends in Tamil Nadu and in the Bay of Bengal. Kaveri has a run of 430 kilometers in Tamil Nadu. Out of which in this summer, it stopped 170 kilometers short of the ocean. 170 kilometers. So I called the farmers' leaders and told them, at least one thing will happen. In the next 25 years, you will have nothing to fight for. That's not a joke, that's a tragedy. I said, you will have nothing to fight for. So it's time we do something. They're all beginning to listen. There are many complexities in this, but at least emotionally, they need to come together. We are all children of Kaveri. Maybe we speak different languages. We speak different languages, culturally we may be slightly different, but we are all children of Kaveri, we are eating from her on a daily basis.
tree plantation is one way of preserving rivers, is being said by you for a long time. What is the concept behind it? Because what we have heard is that trees survive only when there is a river water, but you are putting a reverse theory. What is the reason behind it?
As you said earlier, you said only 4% of India's river water is glacial.
Yeah.
Rest is forest-fed. What does forest-fed mean? When precipitation happens, the water has to percolate into the earth. That will only happen if there is vegetation. Because the roots have made the possibility for the water to sink, and the water will sink in and held there, over a period of time it comes out. There is enough evidence today, not that it needs evidence, we've always known this, but today, everything is by some study. Harvard University have to do study and prove it to you, otherwise it's not true. That has also happened wherever they planted trees. There, if it rains for 3 months, the water flows for 9 to 12 months. Wherever there are no trees, the water flows only for 5 to 6 months, because it runs away.
So there is a correlation between the two?
Not correlation. It is very directly enmeshed with each other.
Coexistence.
People are thinking that because of water there is tree. No. Because of tree there is water.
Oh, wonderful.
Today there is a lot of research coming out of the Brazilian rainforest. For the first time they are saying over 30% of the rain in the Brazilian rainforest happens because of the photosynthesis of the tree. There is something called as transpiration, which creates humidity and attracts the clouds to draw. This is tree's intelligence, because it knows where its sustenance is.
It's very interesting, Your rally for rivers is starting. There are hundreds of youth, those who are watching this show. They have been inspired by your speeches, your guidance on problems in life and modern living. If they want to contribute to this, there are small school children, those who are watching you in this interview. What is it that you would like to appeal to them to contribute to your mission?
One simple thing you can do is give a missed call, because we want the central government to know the people are 100% with the government to make this happen. Why this is important is, this is not like an election winning kind of policy. This is not something you can do today and tomorrow morning you can see results. If we do today, it will take 20-25 years to see real result.
Correct.
So one thing is to show support to the government. We want you to think long term. Don't worry about whether we'll vote for you or not. We will vote for you if you take long-term policies. This is a new thing in this country. In this country, people always vote if you give them saris, if you give them computer, if you give them idli machine, whatever else. Freebies. Now we want to bring this confidence in the government, that the government can think really long term and we are still with you. And we will be with you because of that. Another thing the youth can do, not the school children, the college students can do is, on 1st of September across the country in all the cities, we want thousands of people to come out, just hold this rally for rivers, just a square, the blue patch, and just stand somewhere between 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. for 3 hours, when there is maximum traffic and movement. Just stand there. Don't stand in large groups, it looks like a protest. I don't want this movement to get the complexion of a protest or an agitation. You must stand by yourself, or you can stand with your friend. Both of you hold this board and stand, or we are making a small box. You wear it around your head and walk around in the town. All the youth, I'm telling them. You make a small box. How do I get this? You can contact us, or otherwise it's on the website. You can download it yourself, print it yourself, and do whatever you want. You print a t-shirt, do what, but let the country make a strong statement. We are not fools who will destroy this nation which has nourished us. This is the oldest nation on the planet. We must express this commitment and responsibility that we will do the right things.
Wonderful. Listen, just last question to end this interview. Sadguru is a guide who takes you from darkness to light, from sorrow to happiness, from bad to good. What is the vision Sadguru has for this nation? What is your dream about this nation? Where do you want this nation to be after 25, 30 years, 50 years from now?
See, the fundamental of life is this: more is not going to make our life better. How profound is our experience of life? This is what determines what is the quality of our life. To bring this profoundness, we are doing various things. Today have a huge advantage, which none of the great beings of the past had. Many wonderful beings have come, Krishnas have come, Ramas have come, Buddhas have come, Yesus have come. Many have come, many yogis and seers have come in the past. But they spoke. Maybe 50 people heard them at a time, maybe 100 heard at a time. But today we can sit here and make the entire world listen to us. There's a technology like that.
Yes.
Once this has come, this spiritual process as a science has always been a fringe simply because of its reach.
Correct.
It's not that people don't want it. There is nobody who doesn't want it. Who doesn't want to live joyfully every moment of his life? Everybody wants it.
Correct.
It is just that there was no reach. Now there is a technology. We want to make sure that the entire country enjoys this, because this is our USP. This is our strength. The reason why we have survived invasions, the reason why we have taken every kind of beating and still not broken our spirit is because we invested in the spirit, not so much in the body, not so much in the physical things.
Wow.
We invested in the spirit. That is why our spirit was never broken, no matter what was done to us. We must take charge of that. And people are talking about how we must become a superpower, we must become a world leader. No, we must become the guide to the world. We have the knowledge, we have the capacity, we have the wisdom and the possibility that India, which has been in the past and in the future also, we can be a true guide to the rest of the world.
प्रेक्षको, मागचे तासभर आपल्या समोर सद्गुरूंनी एक प्रकारे त्यांच्या मनातले विचार मांडून दाखवले. या देशासमोरची आणि त्याहीपेक्षा मानव जातीसमोरचं सर्वात मोठं आव्हान जर कुठलं असेल तर ते आव्हान आहे आमच्या नद्यांचं. या नद्यांचं पुनरुज्जीवन कसं केलं जाईल, त्यात प्रत्येक माणसानी काय कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट केलं पाहिजे, सरकारनी काय केलं पाहिजे, त्याचबरोबर या नद्या, या ज्या आपल्या जीवनरेखा आहेत त्या पुनरुज्जीवित करण्याकरता काय काय करावं लागेल याचा एक कालबद्ध कार्यक्रमच त्यांनी दिला. इतकंच काय तर या देशाचा आत्मा नेमका कशात आहे आणि आमचं स्वप्न काय असलं पाहिजे याविषयीचं सुद्धा मार्गदर्शन केलं. त्यांच्या या रॅली फॉर रिव्हर्समध्ये आपल्यापैकी प्रत्येक जण सहभागी होईल या आशेसकट सद्गुरू वंदन, प्रणाम.
झी 24 तास रहा एक पाऊल पुढे.